Foundation. He talked about the importance of a foundation, and you can't build anything without a solid foundation. And for us, both in retail and manufacturing, that means nailing the basics. That means practicing our craft well. And certainly everybody in this room has done that. We've just heard from 4 teams that have really gone beyond that foundation and beyond those basics. From Team Melbourne, we really learned about the importance of customer focus, being customer-centric. I thought that new store idea of what I call an in-situ store, of actually having almost a home where customers would come in and actually interact with products in a actual home environment with people living in the home, demonstrating them. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. Beginning sometimes with crazy ideas like that can lead you to workable ones. And so, what do we get out of that we could actually maybe bring back to our store? I thought clearly the idea of editing an assortment to make that work. And we heard about that in a number of other presentations, possibly not showing 37 of something and confusing customers. And I also thought the Team Melbourne planted a seed possibly for a Narta University. And that could be a very, very interesting concept, I think, for the industry to think about. Some of you know I teach at Harley-Davidson University. And it is, within an industry, it is a very exciting way to really make sure that standards are maintained. The lifestyle lads, incredible. I mean, I've heard it over and over again over the last couple of days, and when Ron took me around Brisbane, this focus on price, commodity, let's move the boxes. I mean, it's got to stop. There is no future in that. There's no fun in it. There's no creativity. There's no craft. There's no honor as a merchant in doing that. And I thought the lifestyle lads brought to us just a really, an interesting, once again, beginning process. Let's start thinking in terms of lifestyle. Let's steal ideas from IKEA. Let's borrow from other industries in the way that they present their product and present the lifestyle to their customer. I also thought it was great that they came up with, again, the seed of integrating lifestyle into catalog. And maybe you don't do that, and it's always risky to take a proven vehicle and completely revamp it. That's dangerous. But maybe you start with 1 or 2 pages, and you do 1 or 2 lifestyle pages or an insert. Some of that's already been done. Communication early with each other. And again, communication was something that ran through all of the groups. But what Lifestyle Lads talked about was if we can share information earlier on in the product development cycle, earlier on in the planning cycle, it's better for both. The industry campaign to introduce lifestyle, once again, coming together as an industry and not these 2 separate entities. In the industry forum, also an absolutely brilliant idea that should not be lost. Then we got into and were presented by the Relationship Rovers, my favorite team, by the way. And again, taking us through some of the nuts and bolts and what the team really struggled with at first, but then came to a very, very clear understanding of was, look, first and foremost, before we have a relationship, we have to understand each other. And I think that way too many manufacturers, suppliers do not really understand retailers, understand how we go about running our business. It's not quite so simple as bring the product in, put it on the floor, and watch it leave. That we're probably very good at making that look easy, but all of the stuff that goes behind the scenes. And certainly retailers are not familiar with manufacturers. And the concept of account level planning, for example, that many of our suppliers utilize. Understanding that process, understanding the forecasting process for a manufacturer, understanding raw material purchasing and how far in advance that has to be done. We've got to go to school on our suppliers have to go to school on retailers. And that is the basis, that's that foundation of understanding where you can then begin a relationship. And then Relationship Rovers then talked about, well, how do we do that? Well, we start by sharing. We start by sharing some stuff that we feel comfortable sharing. And also they planted, again, another seed that Narta could possibly act as the project office for this, and almost as a mediator, particularly in the beginning stages. The discussion within the Relationship Rovers of the elimination of duplication. That was probably the first time in this industry that suppliers and retailers have gotten together and said, at least, you know, hey, maybe we are doing some stuff that is duplication, and maybe it makes sense for us to look at that. And also the suggestion to try that, commit to one channel partner, that every retailer in the room within the next year should commit to sitting down with one channel partner and saying, okay, let's put it on the table. Let's spend a day or 2 days off somewhere really looking at what we are duplicating. And it's not going to be done with the two of you that are in the room. It's going to be done with your marketing team, that triangle that I showed you yesterday. It's got to be done with the teams on both sides. And also what came through loud and clear was to select very few partners. You can't, we all agreed within the group, is that you cannot as a retailer be partner with 30 or 40 vendors. That realistically 4 or 5 is a big chunk to commit to. And so you've got to select those very quickly. And also sharing data, marketing, research, and product development, being early on in the product development cycle is also brilliant. Then we got into the golden slipper frippers. Absolutely amazing, amazing amount of information that came out of that group. And what I loved about it is it was all store focused, very tactical stuff that you can take back and you could start doing on this Monday. And believe me, you better start doing an awful lot of that stuff we heard this Monday. The 15-minute meeting, great, great idea. Where you review the objectives of the day and then, you know, think about what happened yesterday. The use of SMS in the business, also an excellent, excellent idea. The Golden Slipper Award. Washrooms, that for years has been a bug of mine, that really excellent retail stores have got really excellent washrooms. And particularly if you are attracting a female customer, that washroom has got to be up to a certain standard. And I thought it was also great to partner once again with related businesses and maybe get the flowers or for free or whatever, and work a deal with the florist, and the same thing with hand cream. Also, we talked, Ron and I talked quite a bit about customer amenities in the store. I went into one of the member stores and was offered a cup of coffee by one of the staff members, and I just felt great. I mean, I just felt sitting there having a cup of coffee. Research has proven, beyond a doubt, the longer a customer stays in a retail store, the more money they will spend. I mean, it's that simple. And so if I've got something that is going to keep them in my store, the longer I keep them in there, the more opportunity I have to sell them and the more opportunity they have to buy. And so